God, sometimes my hair is like my worst enemy. So today I have my iPad here with me because I'm gonna be talking about 10 of my hot takes. They're gonna be very controversial, so we're starting off strong. I think Cybertrucks look cool. I said it, I don't know what is up with all the Cybertruck hate. I personally think they look futuristic. They look cool. Like, I don't know, would I get one of those if I had the money? I mean, I don't think I would say no. I think they look cool. I don't know about getting one though. Like, maybe? I don't know. I don't really have like a dream car or anything. But I think the Cybertruck hate is just, it's a hate trend. I don't see the hate. Maybe it's because I separated myself from like all the opinions and I just formed my own opinion, but I think they look cool. Number 2. This one is not talked about enough, but I think that women should propose more to men. I don't see a lot of women proposing to men, and a lot of people think that it's weird, and the reason is because we don't get enough representation of women proposing to men, because it's always the other way around. It's always women that are being proposed to. But I think it's cool for a woman to propose to a man. Like, why not? Go ahead and give him flowers as well. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't know. I think anything traditional for me, I just kind of like, whenever I hear traditional, I tweak and I'm like, no, let's flip that, you know? I don't want traditional norms to be the norm. Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one. So Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, Ice Spice, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter. I don't like their songs. I said it. I don't like any of their songs. There's not a single song that I like from any of them. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not like me hating. I love to see women succeed. I love it so much. And as you can see, like Sabrina Carpenter, it's been like what, 9 years since we've seen her at her peak, and that's fucking amazing. I'm honestly really, really happy for her. I'm happy for all of the women that are succeeding, but I don't like any of their songs. Like, none of them. And I remember I was at my job this one time, and this was when Ice Spice was like at her peak, right? I had no idea who she was, and I remember my friends, they put on Ice Spice. All I remember is hearing their songs, like her songs all the time, but I never knew who she was. I never really cared enough to investigate who the hell Ice Spice was. And then I told my friends, I'm like, oh, like, what is that song? I hear it all the time. Like, who the fuck is that? And they were like, you don't know who Ice Spice is? I'm like, who? I swear, I feel like I'm always the outlier. I'm always the one that's like left out, because I see everybody talk about all of these artists, and I'm just here like, is there something wrong with me? I don't like any of their songs. Like, none of their songs tickle my brain the way that other songs do. Like, right now, my mom is hyper fixated on Billie Eilish's song. I forgot what it's called, but it says something about birds, and she's been playing that song on repeat over and over again, and I'm so over it. I'm so annoyed. I just don't like their songs. Maybe there's something wrong with me, and that's fine. This is what, the fourth one? Number 4. This one's more targeted towards hetero relationships, because I haven't really seen anybody talk about this or be toxic in this way when it comes to same-sex relationships. But I think that every partner should be able to have friends of the opposite sex. And I hated this so much, because every time I would see a hetero relationship, right, the girl never allowed the guy to have any girlfriends, or sometimes it'd be the other way around. It'd be guys would never allow their girlfriends to have other guy friends. And this is so fucking toxic, and it's so immature, and I hate this mentality so much, because first of all, you're insecure. Why should your partner not be trusted to have other friends of the opposite sex? Like, I want you to sit down for a second and just ask yourself that. Okay, like, I'm gonna give you some time to think about that. I heard that men are scared of their partners to have other guy friends because they know what other guys want. this and that. But not all of the guys are like that. Not all guys have bad intentions. And I think that's just a generalization. The same goes with women as well. I think that there's many respectful people out there that do respect relationships. And just because you're insecure should not mean that you need to implement those toxic rules with your partner. And also, if we're applying the same concept to other relationships, like relationships that are of the same sex, right? Does that mean that they can't have any friends at all? Let's say that it was a bisexual person. Does that mean that they can't have any friends? Obviously not. So this whole, I don't want them to have any guy friends, girlfriends, blah, 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 it's bullshit. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, number 5. I think that calorie deficits are not a bad thing. I think that they're actually a good thing. So this is especially for the people that want to maintain their weight, or the people that want to lose weight. So there's always people wondering like, oh, like how do you lose weight? How do you maintain your healthy diet? How do you this and that? And then when somebody says the secret, which is calorie deficit, people start to freak out. They think that calorie deficit equals an eating disorder, which is not true. I think that it gets unhealthy when people start to obsess over their calorie intake. I think that's when you kind of have to step back and be like, okay, wait. There's many meals that have all the nutrients that you need, and you can have a healthy diet without necessarily obsess over your calorie intake. Personally, I've done it. That's how I lost face weight. That's how I stopped getting bloated every time that I woke up in the morning. I try to eat all the nutrients that I need as well. So I don't just try to eat like a fucking orange and a boiled egg on the side. I also like to eat bigger meals to keep me full throughout the day. And it helps. I'm healthy. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. But disclaimer, I'm not a professional, so take that with a grain of salt. Number 6. I personally think that astrology is real. I swear I just heard a lot of people be like, oh my god, or they just roll their eyes. But yes, I think astrology is real. I really think that there's a lot of misconceptions again with astrology that, oh my god, if you're a Scorpio then you're obsessive, you're secretive. I think that it goes way more deeper than that. I think that if you look at your birth chart, everything, all the planets, all the aspects, all the houses that they're in, it goes way deeper than what you people think. And I think it's because of that, because a lot of people don't know much about astrology and they just spew out all of this nonsense that, oh my god, if you're a Leo, blah blah blah. I think it also stems from a lot of ignorance. There's a lot of stereotypes that come with astrology, especially men. If they hear women talk about astrology, they get annoyed. And it's like, why can't a woman be interested in whatever they want to be interested in? Why can't they have interests without having men bash them for it? You have your interests in cars, in other things. Why can't I have my own interest? Why does that bother you so much? Like, what's the big deal there, you know? And I bet if you pull up your birth chart, I can probably read your relationship with your mom and your dad in your whole life. I'm joking. I'm not too of a professional reading birth charts, but I know some of my shit. And a lot of people think that birth charts are set in stone, but that's just, again, another misconception that people just don't understand, and they don't want to do the research about it. And that's fine, you know, I mean, to each their own. But I think that if you're gonna, this is especially for haters, if you're a hater and you hate somebody or anybody that talks about astrology, this is especially for you. I think that you should do more research about that. Don't you think? Birth charts are kind of like a compass, like a plan, like a map of your life. And if you use that energy correctly, then you'll be able to embody that energy of that specific sign. Yeah, it just gets a lot deeper than that, but astrology is real and it's not bullshit. 7. This one's more directed to my mom and basically every other person that says this. you are not too old to do whatever it is that you want to do in life. And yes, I'm only 20 and I'm saying that, but I strongly believe that nobody is too old to do anything in life. Do you know how many people miss out on opportunities because they think they're too old to go after their passion? Do you know how many people miss out on all of the opportunities that they could have had? Just blows my mind. Why are you letting your age stop you from doing something? Like, why? That is so sad. I feel like that's, honestly, it's really, really sad, because my mom has that mentality, and I think that at her core, she's just this completely different person than what she expresses. I mean, she doesn't really even express it. And I tell her all the time, like, why don't you express yourself this way? Why don't you do this? And she always says that it's because of her age, because she's too old. She's afraid of like what the people may think of her. Like, I think the world would be a better place if, well, I'm gonna backtrack there, because I was gonna say it'd be a better place if we just didn't care about what other people said, but that can also lead to other things. I mean, we're humans, we obviously care about what people think, but I think that people should choose about what they give a fuck. Because if you spend all the time thinking and just caring about what other people think, that's gonna get you nowhere in life. And I'm serious about that. I really want people to see it the way that I see it. Like, it's really not as deep as many people make it out to be. Fuck, I was gonna say something with that, but I forgot where I was going with it. I lost it. It's like my brain is just like, so many things are happening in my brain that if I have a thought, I'll just leave it behind and I just keep running. My brain just keeps running. But yeah, you're not too old to do anything. Go do whatever it is that you want to do. 8. This one's gonna I feel like this one's a little bit too controversial, but I think 50-50 for dates should be more common. And maybe it's because I have something against traditionalism. Like, traditional, I just don't like. My dad, he's too traditional. I don't like. I'm kidding, I love my dad, but there are some opinions that he has where I very strongly disagree. And my mom is more balanced, but there's still some misogynistic thoughts that she has, and I don't like that. And I always express my opinions, but I also always try to respect the other person's perspective, because where will arguing really get me? You know, sometimes I just let it go. It's rare, but I do. I saw this TikTok video once, and it was talking about interviewing American men and interviewing Russian men. They were asking people on, I forgot exactly what the question said. This was like a few weeks ago. But many of the American men said that they prefer a split on the first dates, split or, 50-50. While Russian men said that they would pay for the women. And a lot of the comments, I opened the comments and I saw a lot of people just bash American men. And I think this was taken the wrong way, or at least I see it in a completely different perspective. But I think that if I were to go on a date, right, with a man, I wouldn't want him to pay for our first date. I just wouldn't. I prefer to either split it. I mean, we're both eating. I don't see why you have to pay for my food. Unless if it's a kind gesture, then, go ahead, but you're also not obligated to. I don't really care if you pay or don't pay for my food. I'd rather even pay for both of us. I think that, I don't know, I have very different and strong views on that. So to wrap that up, I personally think that 50-50 should not be seen as a bad thing. I don't know why it's seen as a bad thing. I think it's because women are more conditioned, not all of them, but most women that I saw, traditional women, are used to the idea of a man paying on the first date. And I don't think that way. I'd rather pay for my own food, you pay for yours, or I can even pay for both of us. And if he's willing to pay, then that's fine as well. But again, not obligated to, and I'm not expecting you to. Religion was made to scare people. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I think that religion was actually made for all the people that are scared of the afterlife. Heaven and hell, I think they're just metaphors. And I'm not gonna get too much into that because I have my own opinions, my own perspective on religion. But I think that all religion was really just, well, mainly Christianity, because I think that really stemmed out of fear. That's all I really have to say about that one. And 10, this one, oh my god, I've never seen anybody talk about this, but I think that misogynistic terms that are used against women, like skank, bitch, whore, slut, they're all just terms to bash them for having sexual intercourse. You never see anybody tell a man that he's a skank. Why not? Because a woman is seen as immodest for sleeping with other people. I'm trying my best to stay calm because I'm very passionate about this. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So here's my question. Why are women seen as more pure and more innocent when they don't engage in sexual intercourse, but the opposite happens when a woman has a higher body count? And then of course men are seen as cool the more that they sleep with women. It just highlights the double standards, and I hate it so much. Like all of these terms, I just want to like take them and just turn the meaning around, like where, yeah, I'm a fucking skank, what about it? All of these words were just used to control women and their bodies, and I think that women should be able to have as much sexual intercourse as they desire without being called any derogatory words and misogynistic terms. As long as it's safe and consensual, there's not a problem there. I don't know why it's seen as a bad thing. And this just keeps happening. Like the word bop, again, it was used as a term against women to bash them for sleeping with other men, for showing their skin, for this and that. Like, well, what? Women will never really be free if nobody ever talks about it. I really don't ever see many people talk about it. Maybe they have, I don't know, maybe I missed it or something. But another example that came to my head is, I'm not gonna name anybody, but there's a specific video that I saw of a very popular influencer or creator, whatever you want to call them, and this guy asked her if she's a bop or anything like that. I forgot exactly what they said, but she was like, no, like I haven't really slept with this many men, and they were like all, I guess they were joking, but they were like celebrating, like, I wish I could remember that fucking video. But why should you celebrate over that? Like, what if she did sleep with that many men? As long as it's safe and consensual, it shouldn't be an issue. Why do men care so much about how many people women have slept with? Why? I think there's a difference between women and men that use that word. I think that when a man calls a woman a skank, oh my god, I fucking hate it so much. I will hate that man till the end of. No, yeah, I hate it when a man uses a word like that. And I told my brother as well, like, don't call me a bitch, I don't like that. But when a woman uses that word against another woman, I feel betrayed. It's not much of anger, it's more so of betrayal. Like, why would you say that to another woman? Why? Like, those words were used by men to have this control over women, over their bodies. It just hurts. Yeah, I think those are all of my 10 hot takes. We started off very small and casual, and I think we got more into deeper topics. I really couldn't come up with different topics, like unpopular opinions. I don't know. I guess I just have very strong opinions, specifically about women and the double standards that we receive. But please feel free to comment your perspective, your own opinion. I would really like to see the comments and just your guys' opinions or what you thought of that. Maybe you disagreed with me on something, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna take it personally. You shouldn't take this video personally either. I mean, this was all just for fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe because I do post every Friday, and I'll see you in my next video.